So we finally got some information on the NBA 2K26 builder. So what I'm gonna do is make sure and try to compress it and make it as palatable as possible because we got a lot to dive into, y'all. And I gotta be honest, your boy was actually impressed with what he saw. So y'all know what it is by now. Without further ado, I need y'all to grab yourself that brew and let's get to the info.
If you don't know, it's brutal sim on the scene, wicked and mean. With the next video on this YouTube thing, we got 2K news and rumors. Don't forget the tutorials and tips. Turn your MyPlayer to a bad man and rule the sticks. No matter the mode, record or park, even my career boot will get you a good start. Hit the like button, don't forget the notifications. Comment down below and welcome to the Brute Squad Nation.
So we're gonna start off and we're just gonna skip the intro for now, man, because we do have a lot we gotta dive into. First, we're gonna start off with Tyrese Halliburton giving us a quick summary, and of course, Evan is going in on the details, y'all. So we got a nice little strategy to go through all the information. So of course, I want y'all to start off with this clip. Check this clip out.
Hey everyone, Tyrese Halliburton here with Zach from NBA 2K to share the detailed features available in the 2K26 MyPlayer Builder. In this courtside report, we'll focus on the new animation glossary, build by badges, new scouting reports, and a lot more. Now let's get started.
This year, the MyPlayer Builder excels at giving players all the tools to make informed decisions when creating their future superstar. Starting with the animation glossary, this brand new feature will list every animation with details, attribute, and height requirements. If you have a specific player you want to model your game after, like Tyrese Halliburton for example, use the search function to find who you're looking for, making it easy to see all the requirements you need to meet to equip their animations.
I love that there are a lot of options to choose from. Me personally, I'm a YouTube merchant when it comes to finding a good build.
Create Your Own Build will sift through dozens of NBA player comparisons before choosing the best animations associated with the suggested players and assign them as default animations for a more enjoyable and streamlined experience from the start. The new Build by Badges feature in NBA 2K26 can help shape the framework for your MyPlayer. Choose your desired badges and tiers: Bronze, Silver, Gold, Hall of Fame, and Legend. The minimum attribute points required will automatically be locked in. Spend your remaining attribute points to max out categories of your choosing and reach a 99 potential overall without missing out on your must-haves. Scattering reports display your best badges and attributes, and coaches you on your strengths and weaknesses. For example, if you make a point guard with a low pass accuracy rating, the builder will flag this as an area of concern, a potential detriment to your teammates.
This might be more in depth than the scouting reports I see during the season. This is pretty fire.
Max Plus Ones are back, and now there are new Max Plus Twos. They work just like they sound. Max Plus Ones push badges one tier beyond their max potential, and Max Plus Twos take them 2 tiers higher. Takeover Surge, Hot Start, and Clutch Gene are perks that temporarily boost your badges up 1 tier in different game situations. They can even boost a badge beyond their max potential. New in 2K26, build specialization goals allow you to enhance your MyPlayer's potential in a specific skill area. For each save, you can pick one of 5 areas to specialize in: finishing, shooting, playmaking, defense, or rebounding. Each area features 9 unique goals that test your abilities in that specialty. Your mastery will earn you rewards tailored to each skill area, including skill boosts, unique apparel and cosmetics, new archetype names, cap breakers for that skill area, and permanent Max Plus 1 and Max Plus 2 badge perks. Cap breakers aren't just back in NBA 2K, they're evolving. In NBA 2K26, each cap breaker will still raise your highest rated and strongest attributes by 1 point, but if you choose to apply them to your lowest rated attributes, you will see larger boosts. For example, if your favorite MyPlayer build is struggling in the rec because you left its free throw rating low, a cap breaker could raise your free throw rating by double digits and provide a significant improvement.
Cap breakers were a game changer in 2K25. I'm glad they're back in 2K26. My boys are going to be hype about that.
Rebirth has multiple tiers this year, letting you carry over more progress from your existing saves than ever before. Silver Rebirth is unlocked at 90 overall and allows you to instantly unlock any newly created MyPlayer's maximum potential to the highest overall rating that you previously reached. As you reach 95 overall across new saves, you will unlock Gold, Hall of Fame, and Legend Rebirth. These new rebirth tiers automatically upgrade your badges to their respective level once attribute requirements are met.
The MyPlayer Builder in 2K26 gives you all the tools to make the best possible build, so you can be a difference maker on the court. Whether you create your own build from scratch or build by badges, find what works for you with numerous personalization options.
It was fun breaking down all the new features in the MyPlayer Builder this year. Thanks for joining me, Tyrese.
I ain't gonna front with y'all. It does sound good so far. But we gotta go to what Evan was speaking on because he got into more details and everything. Of course, first thing he spoke about was the animation glossary, because normally we create our builds based on animations, but now you have all the information and it comes with a search function as well. So I want y'all to check out the full breakdown from Evan himself. Y'all check this clip out.
You may remember from a few weeks ago, back during the roadmap stream, that we mentioned one of the themes of this year's builder is giving you more information and more quality of life improvements, because we know that making a build is really important, right? That sets the foundation of how you play and your gameplay experience in my career. So we know how important that is to you, and the dev team has added this brand new animation glossary. So now you don't have to go look up what the different animation requirements are and which ratings you have to hit and all that. You can simply pull up this tab in the builder that has all the animations, and it lists every single one with their attribute requirements, and also, if there are any, also the height requirements as well. That alone is a huge quality of life improvement for me. But as you heard Tyrese mention, there is also a search function. So if you tap triangle on PlayStation or Y on Xbox, you will bring up this keyboard. You can type exactly which player's animations you want to see. So if you want all of Halliburton's animations, or you want to model yourself off of Steph Curry and you want all of Steph Curry's animations, you can type their name and you can see specifically their animation and what requirements you need to meet to play and look like them. But while we are here about animations, there is one more thing here that kind of went by quick. But Zach mentioned that in the past, when you made a custom build, you ended up with all default animation, right? As most of you in the chat know, those animations are not necessarily the ones that look the coolest or the ones that are most fun to use. So this year, the dev team has made it so that once you've made your own custom build, the builder is going to go through dozens and dozens of NBA player comparisons for the build you made, even beyond the first 3 that you see when you're at the scouting report. And then it's going to automatically pick the best animations from those players to give them to you right away. So you can see in this screenshot, this build got a lot of Curry animations, Lillard, Brunson animations. It got a lot of Curry animations by default. And you can, of course, still change these, but this is the way that the dev team is making the builder more friendly. So if you don't want to bother changing your animations, especially, at the start, you will have fun packages that you can play with right away. So that part's not necessarily about the animation glossary, but figured while we're talking about animations, we should mention it here as well.
That does sound good. I ain't gonna front. This definitely saved me some time and effort, because I used to use my 2 monitors. One used to have up the builder, the next one have up a list of the animations so I could create my builds accordingly, y'all. These are the things we go through on a daily basis, right? Now, the next thing they had as well, they add a new function where you could create your builds by the badges, right? So it's called a build by badges. Now you could actually select the tier of badges you want, and there's a new pin function. It's gonna give you the requirements for the badges as well. So now you could create your builds based on these badge requirements. Y'all check this clip out.
This one's kind of cool. So building by badges is something that many of you already do. I think many of you in the chat already do this, right? You play with your attributes and try to put them at the sweet spot where you can unlock as many badges as possible. And you know those badges are going to play a big role in how you perform on the court. So this year in 2K26, the dev team has now added this as a feature. So in the build by badges menu, you can pick which tier of a badge you want. So you can see here, you got bronze, silver, gold, Hall of Fame, or legend, and it is going to show you the requirements for each one. So in this example, you can see that for Hall of Fame shifty shooter, you need either a 96 mid-range shot or a 96 three-point shot. And let's say you want to lock that in. You click the right stick, it is going to ask you which attribute you want to pin. And pinning an attribute just means that you are going to lock in that attribute rating as your minimum. So for this example, let's say you pick whether you want a 96 mid-range shot or a 96 three-point shot. Let's say you pick the mid-range shot. Once it's pinned, you can then safely adjust the rest of your attributes without losing the badges that you know that you really, really want to have for your build. So this person really wanted to have Hall of Fame shifty shooter, that pins it so that they can make the other adjustments without losing that. I think many of us in the builder in the past, many of us who did build by badges, we always got like, you make one little attribute go down by one attribute point, you lose the badge you need, then you go all the way back up. But then when you did that, some of the other attributes that were connected to it went down with it, and you had to kind of adjust and fix everything. This kind of just keeps things locked in, so that is really a huge quality of life feature. So if you are somebody who already does this, hopefully this is a nice feature for you. But if you're somebody newer to the game and you just now realized that you should probably be maximizing the badges you get on your MyPlayer, this feature is going to help you out and educate you at the same time. So hopefully you guys like this.
That's a huge W. Number one, the animation glossary, and now I know my badge requirements. Come on, my G. Come on, my G. I can't even hate. So far, so good. Now, the next thing they spoke on was body types. Now, this was previously mentioned in a few of the courtside reports as well. Now, you could actually have a visual preview and make some adjustments accordingly, and it's right in the builder, y'all. I want y'all to check this clip out.
So you can see here that when you are deciding your build position and your body measurements, that there is a new body type potential preview on the right side. See a little box with the player in it? That is a visual preview that you can use the right stick to kind of scroll through, and you're going to see the different body types your build can eventually unlock by doing workouts in the Gatorade gym. What we mentioned a while back is this is just a really nice quality of life feature. You no longer have to make a build, go to the Gatorade gym, find out the build doesn't get the body type you want, back all the way back out to the main menu to the builder, do it again, do a new build, check the Gatorade gym again, and rinse and repeat. It did take a long time. So this is going to skip all that for you. And now right in the builder, you can see that, if you want a swole build or if you want a skinny body type, you can see that right from the start. So hopefully this is another improvement that kind of makes your builder experience just a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm not so hype about that. That's a feature that's been in the game and been taken back out, and now they're putting it back in. 2K do that from time to time, man. I'm not knocking them for it, but that's just what it is, y'all. So the next thing they spoke about was build templates. It seemed like they're back in NBA 2K26, y'all. It don't look too amazing to me. It seemed like the same thing, and me personally, as somebody who like full control over my builds, I don't really see me using this function, but of course, I still got to get all the information, so I want y'all to check this clip out.
These are the grab and go options that get you a solid build that you can use right away if you want. So especially if you're newer to the game, but also if you just don't want to spend time coming up with your own build, these are really helpful. So we can take a quick second to go over the three options. But NBA templates, those are, as the name suggests, those are for you to play like your favorite NBA player. So if you use those templates as is, you will get all the animations of whichever player that build is modeled after. And this year, each season, the dev team is going to add a new set of these NBA templates that have a theme. And for the first season, right at launch, the first theme of the year is going to be a collection of players who have been named All-Stars more than once. So it's going to be many names that you recognize. Then in the middle, we have Pro Tune builds. Those are built by the pros. And what that means is they are built by our dev team. They're built by our experts over there at Visual Concepts. They are going to let you pick a position and a play style. And then it gives you a list of builds that match your preference, and you can pick the one that's good for you. Then you can see there in the upper right corner that starting in Season 2, we are going to have community builds again. These are templates submitted by build makers from around the community. So they are focused on builds that are unique or competitive or perhaps both. And this has always been my favorite. I have been very open on past streams that I am somebody who watches a bunch of videos from our experts in the community, and I end up copying one of their builds, right? I might make a little tweak here and there, but I end up copying somebody's build that I saw their video of. So ever since we've added these community builds, I use them every single year. And one cool note about these is that we are working on an official submission process for these. So that if you are a community member, you love making builds, you make content on them, we are going to try to make a process for you to submit your build for consideration. Because in the past, we've just had builds that were submitted to me or submitted to our dev team directly, and we don't want community builds to be limited to people who can message us directly. So
yeah, again, I like to create my builds personally to really match what I want. But some of y'all could actually use this as a template and go make some adjustments as well. The same thing I tell y'all whenever I put out builds, that you could use my build as a template and make the adjustments accordingly. So it could be a good blueprint to start your build out. Let me know your thoughts. The next thing they spoke about really stood out to me. They spoke about height balancing. The one thing they made sure and highlight that the max height for builds in NBA 2K26 will be 7'4" from previous 2K, which is 2K25 7'3". So now you might actually be able to create a Wemby-like build-ish. Not the same thing. We don't know how the attributes gonna flow with these builds yet. We ain't got that type of information yet, of course. But you will be able to make taller builds in NBA 2K26. It seemed like they actually made an added effort or extra effort to make more builds viable. According to them, I'm going by what they say, so I want y'all to check this clip out.
The max height for MyPlayers is now going to be 7'4". For those of you who felt like 7'3s weren't tall enough for you, you want that Victor Wembanyama height or that Zach Edey height, you can now make 7'4" build. But across the board, short and tall, the dev team really spent a lot of effort making sure that no matter what height you are, you can make a build that is effective. So if you want to make a really short build or a really tall build, you can. That is totally your preference. But we want to make sure that whether you are short, tall, or medium-sized, it is a balanced experience so that there is more build diversity, which is a big goal, of course, of the MyPlayer Builder.
Sounds good? This is the next wait and see thing. All right, let me know your thoughts. They also add a scouting report. This will actually be on the final page after you create your build that will highlight certain things like the pros and cons of your build, the shades of whatever NBA player you have on your build, your top attributes, your go-to badges, etc. This is Evan breaking it all the way down here for y'all. Check this clip out.
Final page of the builder. It looks a little different than what you've seen in the past, and this is what we call a scouting report. So it's essentially a more detailed summary of the build that you just made, and it has more information than you're used to. So on the left side, you have stuff you're familiar with. You see your shades of NBA comparisons and your archetype name. And also, by the way, while we're here, a little side note on archetype names. I don't know if you heard Tyrese mention it in the video, but there are roughly 10 times the number of build names compared to last year. So there will be plenty of new unique names that you'll be able to see. I saw Zach on X, on Twitter, asking the community for names as well. There are going to be plenty of new unique names for your build. But anyways, back to the scouting report. On the right side, you are going to see your best badges and attributes, and then a new section at the bottom that coaches you on your strengths and weaknesses. So let's say you made a point guard, but for some reason, you decided not to upgrade your pass accuracy. Those of you who have played with point guards with no pass accuracy know that may not be the best point guard to have as your teammate. So the weaknesses section is going to call out that you lack passing vision. Like for example, for this build, you might not be the best teammate if you're a point guard that has no pass accuracy. So it is entirely up to you. It is optional if you want to try to address your weaknesses, because there are of course trade-offs, right? You increase your pass accuracy, you got to decrease something else. But this way, you cannot say you weren't warned. And especially if you are newer to the builder and you are just experimenting, this scouting report kind of helps educate you on the builds as you start to understand the roles that each attribute plays and how they affect your play styles on the court. So this scouting report is really about educating you on the build you've made and giving you more information than we have in the past on this final page of the builder.
That's actually solid, man. So if you see certain weaknesses in your build, you could actually go back and make adjustments and come back to this page. That's something nice, y'all. It seems like they're giving you as much control as possible so you could get the ideal build that you want to go out there with, man. Shout out to 2K. I ain't gonna lie to you, I still want their respect feature, but we're gonna talk about that in a different day at a different time. So after you get done creating the builds, they mentioned the badge perks having some improvements as well. One of the things they really took time to highlight was the Max Plus one that we had in NBA 2K25. Now we got the Max Plus 2 badge, and it's gonna be permanent, by the way. I'm putting this out there. He said it, okay? It's gonna be permanent. That is a huge W. So here's Evan breaking it down, y'all. I want y'all to check this clip out.
So for badge perks, the first one to talk about is Max Plus 2s. Because as most of you know and probably remember, Max Plus 1s, they boost one of your badges one tier even beyond their max. Just like the name sounds, Max Plus 2s do the same thing, except 2 tiers higher. So if you have a badge that maxes out at gold, and you can insert it into a Max Plus 2 slot, that is going to boost that badge all the way to legend. Then we have badge perks that activate in specific game situations. So Takeover Surge is a perk that boosts badges one tier beyond their max potential while you have your takeover bar filled all the way to level 5. Then Hot Start, that one specifically activates during the early portions of game. So you're going to come out of the gates with one of your badges, or 2 if you have both slots unlocked, one of your badges temporarily boosted one tier higher. Then the last one is Clutch Gene. And if you put badges in these slots, they will be boosted 1 tier during high pressure situations. So in the park, high pressure situation means like late game situations down the stretch. But if you're playing like full games, that's going to be the end of the 4th quarter. And overtime, that's going to be when this clutch gene kicks in. So these are various badge perks that you're going to be able to earn from seasonal rewards and other places that take your badges quite literally to the next level, or I guess in the Max Plus 2's case, 2 levels higher. Not just 1, but 2 levels higher, from gold all the way to legend, or whatever your max is, add 2 on top of that.
He also spoke about having custom takeovers. I can't even make this up. So anyways, here's Evan breaking it all the way down and not just being overhyped as well. Check this clip out.
The final reward is Custom Takeover, and this has been something that I've seen requested often, and the dev team was able to make it happen this year. So after you unlock this final reward, we're going to show you the Custom Takeover menu, and here's what it looks like. It is going to allow you to design your own takeover from scratch. You can pick up to 3 attributes that you want to target. So in this example, this person decided to target speed with ball, 3-point shot, and close shot. It is really up to you. And then after that, you can pick from any takeover ability that your build is qualified to use and pair it with those attribute boosts. So in this case, this person picked lethal layup. And there are a crazy amount of possibilities here. You really can pick what is going to work best for your build and your playstyle. And this is a huge way to kind of improve upon your build during the year. And one of the ways that we were talking about or hinting at a couple of weeks back.
Of course, I'm overhyping it a little bit. We're going to have to wait and see. There is going to be some balancing in that thing. They're not just going to let you go crazy and just go berserk, of course. But it does look like a really good added feature to the takeover system. Again, this is a next wait and see situation. So there's also a new build specialization feature. Now you could actually specialize your build in certain areas, and this will actually allow you to unlock certain rewards. Now what's good about this, in my opinion, this will actually let some people just not create their builds and get rid of it because they clearly won't be seeing their full potential unless they put their time into that build. But here's Evan breaking it all the way down. Let me know your thoughts.
The dev team has added these new build specialization quest lines. So for each save file, you are going to be able to pick one of 5 skill areas to specialize in. And these are the same as the 5 attribute categories. So you can pick from finishing, shooting, playmaking, defense, or rebounding. And you do have to meet the attribute requirements for the specialty that you want to pick. Now, each of these specialties is going to give you a unique quest line that has 9 quests in it. And as you complete these 9 quests, you are going to unlock really, really cool new rewards, including more new ways to upgrade your build. So let's say you choose the shooting quest line. This is a quick preview that we have of the 9 quests that you get for the shooting quest line. You can see that for shooting, you are challenged to make mid-range shots or 3-point shots, up to you. And with this, as you complete these, you can earn rewards like skill boosts and new clothing items, which many of you probably expected. But also, as you can see here, if you look closely, there are permanent Max Plus 2 badge perks, permanent cap breakers, and also new unique archetype names that you can earn from these build specialization quests. So this is a massive addition. When we said earlier a couple weeks back that the dev team wanted to add new ways for you all to improve your builds during the year, this is exactly what I had in mind. This is exactly what we meant. And I think you all are really going to like this. You're going to be earning Max Plus 1s, Max Plus 2s, cap breakers, and a bunch of great rewards from these quest lines that can really either emphasize the best skill for your build, or you can kind of see maybe you have a weakness that you want to fill in a little bit and then make your build a little bit more well-rounded. Either way, build specialization, brand new feature. Really excited that we're going to have this in 2K26.
Again, I actually like how this sounds. This sounds like you will really have to put some time in on your build to unlock certain extra cap breakers, to unlock certain things. But what I'm wondering is this: when you unlock these cap breakers, will they be accessible to the other builds you have, or will they just be limited to this build specifically? If these cap breakers will now be available to all your other builds, similar to NBA 2K25, this could add a next layer to you getting your cap breakers up there for all your builds. I doubt they're gonna do that, man. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see because the details are not out there on that as well. But I just thought about it as they were speaking on it. Now that we're speaking about cap breakers, it seemed like they actually reworked that for our benefit. Now we'll actually have the ability to have some well-rounded builds using the new cap breaker system. Here's Evan breaking it all the way down for y'all. I want y'all to check this out.
let's talk cap breakers, because everybody loves cap breakers. We couldn't go a stream without talking about these. But essentially, the way you all currently understand cap breakers is that a +1 cap breaker literally adds +1 to your attribute point, right? So for many of you, this past year in 2K25, you chose to use those +1 cap breakers to make your best attributes even better, right? You wanted a 94 to go to 95 or 95 to go to 96, right? Well, this year in 2K26, the cap breakers still work that way for your best attributes, right? They can't go that much higher. You know, you're still capped at 99. But if you use them on your lowest rated attributes, you are actually going to see an even bigger impact. So let's say you made a great build. You were having a lot of fun with it in the park. That's the mode you play normally. But then you got some friends and they're like, hey, let's go play in the rec instead. Well, the difference is the rec has free throws if you get fouled. So if you are like this person and you have a 44 free throw rating, you are going to be a liability for your team, right? Well, for this person, if they use the cap breaker on an attribute that is low rated, that +1 cap breaker is not just +1 attribute, it does raise your attributes by double digits. So it is going to provide a significant improvement. So for this person, let's say for their free throw rating, instead of 1 cap breaker taking them from a 44 to a 45 this year, they could go up 11 attribute points. And that's just with 1 cap breaker. You know, you can zoom in, take a screenshot of this and see this example, how every single stage, there could be more than +1 attribute with each +1 cap breaker. So this is really about making cap breakers literally more impactful this year. And, you know, as we talked about already, you can earn these cap breakers from build specialization quests. They are still going to be in season rewards, rep rewards, and there are also other new ways to earn cap breakers that we can't talk about just yet today. So you're just going to have to be patient and wait and see. But cap breakers are back and they are much more impactful than they were this past year.
I gotta be honest with y'all. As this was playing, I couldn't help but have the Birdman hands just watching the video, y'all, because this song's amazing, especially for somebody who like all-around builds like myself. I could see how this could greatly impact how I create my builds going forward. Now, last but not least, we gotta speak on the rebirth, y'all. Y'all know 2K. They gotta put some thought in this rebirth and reinvent it at least a little bit to make it more attractive. Now, they actually got a new rebirth system based by tiers. I'm talking about Silver, Gold, Hall of Fame, and Legend. And in the Legendary tier, you'll get all your badges, y'all. I can't even make this up. I want y'all to check this clip out.
But there are now multiple tiers of rebirth. And that means you can carry over more and more progress the higher your tier. So at 90 overall, you're going to unlock Silver Rebirth. That means your max potential will be unlocked to match your highest rated build, and your badges are going to start at Silver. That is just like how it used to be. But as you keep reaching 95 overall on new saves, you are going to unlock more tiers of rebirth. We're going to call them Gold, Hall of Fame, and Legend Rebirth, just like the badge tiers. And it is named that way because with those rebirths, the badges on your new saves will automatically start at that tier, right? As long as they're eligible, right? A badge that's only eligible for Silver is not going to suddenly start at Legend, but it will start as high as it is eligible for. So with Legend Rebirth, once you unlock that, when you make new saves, all of your badges are going to be maxed out right off the bat, right? You can go higher than Legend. So with Legend Rebirth, all of your badges will be as high as they can be. So for those of you who make a lot of builds during the year, I know you are really going to like this feature, especially those of you I've seen max out all 15 of your save slots or however many there are. You guys are really going to like this feature because as you make your new builds with that higher rebirth from Hall of Fame and Legend Rebirth, you are really going to be saving a lot of time as you keep making new builds.
In my opinion, and this is just your boy opinion, the 2K community gonna be happy and 2K gonna be happy themselves because this is the bag right here. Once people unlock their Legendary Edition, hell yeah, they're gonna be throwing out bills like crazy, shilling out their money for 2K. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section. That's all I got for y'all today, y'all. Till next time, how blessed and be safe out there, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The notification bell is key and free. Peace.